everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Ding! Making Gotham great again. A great way to support the show is go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood and become a premium member, or patreon.com/Graham Elwood and do what Tim Stack has done, where you can submit articles. Tim has been supporting the show from day one. Tim, very much appreciate it. This is a little crazy. Closer scrutiny reveals how close the state power Sacha Baron Cohen really is. Mint Press reviewed documents and spoke to a former CIA agent who worked with Sacha Baron Cohen to reveal how the famed actor worked with the national security state to sell America's wars. This is in Mint Press News by Alan McLeod. I was shocked when I read this because I like Sacha Baron Cohen, but you know what? I've never really dug deep into his movies and thought about it, especially since I've been doing this show. And it makes sense. Once I started doing this show and paying attention, like, again, what's happening in Ukraine is awful. I wish Putin would pull out. I do not like Putin. But it's an easy war to sell to the American people that it's only Russia's bad, and no mention of how the U.S. has been pushing NATO east since the 90s. And it's easy to sell to Americans because we've been playing this Russiagate. I mean, after the 2016 election, we blamed, the left, the liberals blamed Trump on Russia rather than the fact that Hillary didn't campaign in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. We never talked about that. Rachel Maddow has been Russia. We've talked all about that. So they've been planting these seeds. And you see how it's planted. You see, like, who's the bad guy in Stranger Things season 3? It's the Russians. Who's the bad guy, in Creed 2? It's the Russians. Who wins the best? It's Icarus, right? They keep winning all that. We've talked about on this show. We've talked about on Government Secrets, how the CIA has script approval on movies, and the CIA has at offices in Hollywood. Well, it's going to be confirmed here too. And you think about selling the war as the invasion of, the killing of Gaddafi. Sacha Baron Cohen did The Dictator. He's done all these movies that kind of are definitely pro-America, Middle Eastern anti-terrorist propaganda to sell these wars to America. So look at this. But a close examination of the comedian's background and views suggests that much of his work is pro-Israel, pro-Western propaganda masquerading as satire. Documents obtained under the Freedom of Information Act show that the Department of Defense was involved in the production of the 2009 mockumentary Bruno. And in Bruno, there's a scene where he's on this base and it looks like he's just acting wacky and he got chased off there. And in an interview, he said, "Oh man, we stole the footage." And, he made it seem like they were just like a bunch of crazy kids and they got chased out of there. And if you watch it again now, it seems very sort of staged, right? So this was a very excellent point that's brought up in this article. Tom Secker, an investigative journalist who analyzes the connections between the Pentagon and Hollywood, commented, if the footage was obtained illegally by the production company deceiving the military, which they certainly did, and so it certainly was, then it would have been a relatively simple matter for the Pentagon to prevent them from using it in the final movie. What a great point. People might not know that. Oh man, they got the footage illegally. The Pentagon would just go to the film company, whoever, I forget who produced, Warner Brothers or one of these big companies, and said, "You put that out there, we'll sue you." And no one is going to do that. These big studios aren't going to put that. You could maybe put that on YouTube or something, but these big studios, I've signed distribution agreements for like Earbuds, the podcasting documentary, in Afghanistan. They got distribution deals. And in those contracts, you have to show that every frame of footage you have clearance, like meaning somebody signed and said you can use this footage. And there's a whole thing that says the studio is not held liable. If somebody does sue, you have to show every consent form with everybody that's on camera, especially in documentaries, which he does mockumentaries, right? You have to get consent forms because he uses a lot of regular people that don't realize they're in like a satire or a fake documentary. But you have to get releases when you do those type of films, right? So this journalist makes a great point. But I want to show you this actually from the Mint Press article. This is important to see. So I want to show you this just to show you, because it's too detailed of a document to like put on screen, but I want to show you this. All right. So this is the article in Mint Press News, right? In it, these are the redacted. Look at this. Now, this page, this goes on, and it says like, it was nice talking to you on the phone. Thank you for all your help and information. As you know, we are hoping to film this potential segment on Thursday, February 12th. I look forward to speaking with you. And this is this whole interchange between the production company and the military. And they're just like, yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. Like, it goes on and on. Oh, looks like a good time for you to visit and interview. It says, like it's pages of this like email back and forth saying, of course, yeah, you can come, no worries, there's no problem. So it's not even accurate. It's not. So they tried to paint it like, oh, we're these rebel film guys who, did hidden camera. There's no way they got access. And even if they did lie about who they were and then stole the footage, the Pentagon would say, the State Department would go, nope, you can't use that footage. So anytime, and I've talked about this again, I've talked about this. I've talked about this numerous times in movies. So anytime you use the U.S. military allows you to use its weaponry, you have to show the military in a positive light. I've talked about how the propaganda shows the CIA in a positive light. There's no movies out there that are like super critical of the CIA. The last one I can personally remember is like 3 Days of the Condor from the 70s with Robert Redford. Like that's the last one I can remember. But you see all of this like Tom Clancy stuff, and like you see all these films on Amazon. So it's all in a favorable light. But this is also more information that this article revealed. Bruno was also made with the help of the CIA. In an interview with David Letterman in 2009, Baron Cohen casually stated that the CIA contact had arranged some of the scenes in the movies. One of the scenes in the movies, they had a CIA agent that they spoke with. It was John Kiriakou. This is before he became the whistleblower. And in this article in the Mint Press News, and I'll put the link in the show notes, it says that he said, oh, I want to go interview people from ISIS. And Kiriakou said, that's a horrible idea. But then Kiriakou, since he's been a whistleblower and come forward, these are the quotes that are in this article. There is a branch inside the CIA's Office of Public Affairs, which job is solely to work with Hollywood studios. This is something that the FBI has been doing since the 40s. They'll cooperate and give the red carpet treatment to any Hollywood studio that's willing to make the CIA look good. John Kiriakou says this. What that then does is it allows the likes of the CIA to assist Hollywood studios in making pro-CIA films, Kiriakou explained, noting that many top TV shows and movies, all of which show the agency in a good light and perpetuate falsehoods, such as torture being an essential part of keeping America safe, are now made with CIA help. You notice that? Anytime it's like, it'll be like, hey, the CIA is a little shifty, but always in like a, like they're on our side. It's never like, oh, they do horrible things. There's no movie out there like, oh, these are all the countries the CIA has illegally, staged coups. We don't have movies like that. The Department of Defense has been involved in the production of at least 814 movies and 1,133 television shows, including many of the most successful titles and series. I mean, I'm here to tell you the biggest thing when you're trying to get a project made in Hollywood is get funding. So the CIA is like, yeah, you make all these movies showing how great America is and how necessary war is and the big bag battleships and the fight scenes. We'll give you helicopters. We'll give you everything. I mean, look at all those movies that like Mark Wahlberg's in, about this sniper team and that. It's always, you could not make a movie like about America's role in Yemen with the help of the CIA or the Defense Department. They just won't do it. But if you do a like gung ho, America's here to save the day, they'll set you up, man. So there's also a guy in Bruno that they wanted to show as a terrorist, that they read this. Palestinian grocer and NGO, non-governmental agency worker, Ayman Abdul Aita vigorously denied he was a terrorist at all. He claimed that Baron Cohen had told him the interview would be about his peace activism and that his life and business had been destroyed as a result. Abu Addus sued for nearly $100 million. The case was settled for an undisclosed sum in 2012. So Baron Cohen's not even being honest as a filmmaker. And then The Dictator, this is again from Mint Press News, is essentially an Israeli-American imitation of a crass stereotype borrowed almost directly from the low-budget action military movies that proliferated throughout the 80s and the 90s. Ultimately, it comes down to a very profound cultural Islamophobia, which can be turned on and off as needed. And those deeply radicalized sentiments build up over time and crystallize as foreign policy through invasions and regime change wars. This is from Sina Ramani, an academic and a host of The East, as a podcast to show about Orientalism in popular culture. So that's how you win the propaganda war. It's not just what they say on MSNBC or CNN or Fox. It's that message. Oh, all Muslims are terrorists. Oh, Russia's bad, Russia's bad, Russia's bad. Russia stole our elections. Russia did this or that. See how they plant that seeds? And it's not just in the media. It's TV shows, it's movies, right? Can anyone in the comment section name a movie that shows a negative depiction of the CIA or even the FBI or even the US military? I mean, there's a reason why movies like Apocalypse Now and The Deer Hunter aren't made anymore. And even those movies, which were anti-Vietnam movies, still their depiction of the Vietnamese was really bad. Can we even have a movie that shows how awful war really is? And how the United States, how many countries, we've dropped 320 some thousand bombs in the global war on terror. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 million people are dead in the 20-year global war on terror. That started, I mean, the first, official bombing and attacks or whatever happened about a month after 9/11 on October 2001. It's when we officially invaded Afghanistan. Can't do it. Got to be suspect to people that get famous doing stuff like that. And then you wonder. So Lee Camp did Redacted Tonight for 8 years, basically a comedy news show like The Daily Show or John Oliver, where he called out the lies and crimes of the United States empire. That just got shut down. Now, you can do a show where you'd say, oh, Trump's bad and Fox News is bad and a little critical of Biden and the Democrats, a little critical of Obama, but you can't be critical of the military-industrial complex on those shows. You can't. You can try, but you'll get a phone call. Somebody will tell you to shut it down. And most people in Hollywood just want to be famous and they want money and power and fancy cars and, date beautiful people. And so the military comes and goes, hey, man, you play ball, green light your movie. Here's $50 million to make your new movie with Mark Wahlberg, or $100 million or whatever it is. See how it works? Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Thank you, Tim Stack, for sending this to us. Thank you to Mint Press News. And thank all of you for shaving your knuckles for justice to help make Gotham great again. We've been demonetized for a year, man. RT America's been shut down. They just don't even want an alternative viewpoint from anybody. So just go watch Bill Maher, and think you're woke, and we'll see you soon. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood, and go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.